Hello, everybody. I'm Miss Lisa. Welcome back to the second episode of Woke Art. Today, we're going to be doing an art project that is related to voices of those experiencing poverty and homelessness, which is a very big and complex topic. Today, I'm going to be taking you through a drawing project. We're going to be working with the book A Bike Like Sergio's by Maribeth Boelts. This book was illustrated by Noah Z. Jones. And in this book, we have the boy Ruben, who would really like to have a bicycle like everybody else. It seems like he's the only kid that doesn't have a bicycle. But his family cannot afford to buy him a bicycle, and so he goes without. Sometimes they don't even have enough money to buy everything on the grocery list. He knows that the bicycle will not happen soon, even though his birthday's coming up. So he wants to have this bicycle. It's a very big part of the story, but the bigger part of the story is that he ends up doing the right thing. He finds what he thinks is $1 dropped by a lady in the grocery store, but it turns out to be $100. He can buy the bicycle with $100. However, he finds the lady and gives the money back to her. His family is very proud of him, and he's very proud of himself too. It was a moment of perhaps sadness when he gave up the dream of having that bicycle immediately, but at the same time, he was able to appreciate his warm and supportive family, his warm, loving, and supportive family. Now, what I'm going to do with you today is a piece of art that, not surprisingly, is going to be a drawing of Sergio's bicycle. So my drawing is based off of the illustration done by Noah Z. Jones, and he draws this bike several times throughout the book, and also Ruben draws it as well. Ruben draws this bicycle, and we're going to put the drawing of the bicycle on our paper first, and then we're going to see what happens after that. So we're going to start out with a border, and I'm using a 3B pencil, but you can use another pencil. You can use your favorite drawing pencil. Try not to use an eraser. Let's just try not to, and see if you can do it without. We're going to start by making a border so that we can keep our artwork inside that border, and you can see that when we're done, we'll have a lovely white frame for our artwork if we make the border first. So to make the border, I'm going to start out with 4 dots, 1 in each corner. I like to turn my paper as I work because it's easier for me to make straight lines at a slight diagonal. So you see here I'm going to be making a line that's not vertical. It's slightly diagonal. And again, I'm going to turn my paper. I'm going to draw this diagonal. I'll turn my paper again and draw this diagonal. Notice I'm not using a ruler. It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to measure anything. And you don't have to worry about your lines. Okay, so I have a border now. And I'm going to start my drawing of the bicycle with 2 circles. And you can imagine what those circles might be, right? They're probably going to be the wheels. And I want to make this bike fairly large. I don't want it to be a little bike. I want it to be a pretty main part of the artwork because Ruben really wanted that bicycle. A bike like Sergio's, I should say. I'm going to start out by making a line, very light line, so that my two circles will be about the same size. That's just a guideline for me. Now I'm going to draw one circle here. And see how I'm drawing it lightly first. And I'm going to do another one about here. So I've got my two circles. I'm going to make a smaller circle in between those circles, and that's where the petals will attach. So we can draw the petal coming out behind, and we can draw a petal coming out in front. Now we're going to make, here's the wheel, and the wheel, the middle circle, and the petals. Now we're going to draw this line here, which is the line, it's the part of the bicycle that goes from the front wheel to the handlebars. We're going to draw it slightly at a diagonal. So if it was straight, it would be like this, slightly at a diagonal towards the back of the bike. And I want this line to be about twice this length. So from the center of the wheel to the edge of the wheel, I want this length to be the same as this length. I'll just leave it there for now. And then I'm going to go halfway from here to here, about there, right? And I'm going to draw a horizontal line now. And this horizontal line, this is horizontal, right? We made that guideline very lightly. So my horizontal line is going to go right here. And I'm going to make a line coming up here. This is a very vertical line. Crosses over here. And I'll put the seat up here. Now, if this was a bicycle that had a little, there used to be little places to put a little shelf almost behind your seat. So this bike seems to have one. I made this line too long, but we'll just call that a shelf. And then we're going to go up here and put the handlebars. You can see the handlebars here. We can draw those as a diagonal line. And we can put the grips on the end. Another grip on this end. I'm going to make this line a little bit darker so that you can see it. And now we're going to put a diagonal line from the center of this disc that has the petals. And this is going to go meet right here. It's going to go up It's a straight diagonal line. And then from here, we're going to have a circle in the middle of the wheel. And we can make a dashed line that goes like this and around that, back to here. And that dashed line just indicates that it's the chain. It kind of makes it look like a chain, doesn't it? Okay, back to the wheels. I'm going to go inside the circles that I made and widen this just a bit to show the rubber. And we're going to put some spokes from the center of the wheels. Okay, now there's actually a bit of the bicycle that kind of attaches here too. Some of it you don't want to put too much detail because it'll get a little bit confusing with so many lines. Now I'm going to take my black crayon and we're going to put some hearts. And I'm following the pattern that I made on this one, but you can put them wherever you like. Don't make them too small. Make some nice big hearts. And these hearts symbolize the loving, supportive family that Ruben has. And they're going to be big hearts. You can see this one I actually drew sideways, so if you turn it around you can see it there. Yours don't have to look like mine. I'm going to put one here, and that one goes right off the paper. There's a very large one right here. And there's a small upside down one right here. Smaller, it's still pretty big. And there's a big right side up one here. And there's this one facing to the left. And there's this one facing to the right. And suddenly, it's hard to see the bike, isn't it? The bike just kind of blends into everything else. And I'm just going to go over the bike because we don't want to lose it completely. I'm going to go over it with my black crayon. Here's the seat. The pedal. Here's the pedal in front. And the back tire. Now what we're going to do is add some color. And we're going to start out, choose a color, doesn't matter which one, but we're going to start by coloring shapes between the hearts and the bicycle, or between different parts of the bicycle, or between the border and the heart, or the border and the bicycle. I'm looking for all sorts of shapes, like this one here. And maybe this one. Now notice how I'm coloring lots of things with the same crayon, and then I'll move on to a different crayon and color lots of things with that crayon. This is much easier and faster to color this way. Otherwise you spend most of the time putting crayons down and picking them up again. Let's see. So lots of shapes in here. A little purple one there. And you can see on this one, I didn't color them all in. I actually left white as a color too. Those are not colored with white crayon. Those were just left so that the white of the paper provides the white for the drawing instead of using the white crayon, because no need, right? Okay, after this color, I think I'm going to go to the turquoise. I love using turquoise. Blue-green. Blue-green is the proper name for turquoise. It happens to be one of my favorite colors. I have lots of favorite colors. Let's make this very large shape, turquoise. put some orange in there too. I really do turn my paper a lot when I draw, don't I? Okay, I'm going to put this lovely red violet in this very large shape. This shape comes right down to the border on two sides of my paper. How about some red orange? Let's put some dark blue in there. Indigo, that sounds good. Use indigo or Is he soon to go? I think I just want to do something with that one big heart there. Let's make it red-orange. It seems just a little bit big to remain white. However, I plan on keeping the other areas white. All right. Sergio's bike and lots of hearts. We can see Ruben's loving, supportive family in the hearts, right? So these are 2 examples. You might want to try this. They make beautiful pieces of artwork, and you can see that the bicycle is not the main part of this artwork any longer. It's actually the love and support. And then the background kind of engulfs the bicycle, and it makes it all one big piece of art. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed thinking about a way to draw Sergio's bike. And I want you to practice your art. I want you to stay safe. I want you to wash your hands and wear your mask when you go out. Be careful. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.